Arizona coming up.
Yeah.
Can you give a little bit of a breakdown of them?
Oh, breakdown on them. Well, they've got everything. They've got power, they've got speed. Obviously, Katiana Malga is a tremendous hitter. 27 home runs last year and 17 this year so far. And, she's the heartbeat of their lineup. Mercado behind her is doing excellent as well. Then they have, pretty good pitching, solid pitching. 2 left-hand pitchers. They're excellent. And, the other ones, staples such as Bowling and Floyd, that can come in as well. So they've got a lot of different options they can bring to the table.
What have they been doing this year that they haven't quite been able to sort of break through it? It always seems like they're not quite there.
Yeah, well, I think they lost a lot of power last year from their team, and so they're kind of rebuilding in that aspect. But their defense and their pitching is the strength, I think, of their team right now, and of course their ability to explode if you make mistakes. And that's what we got to watch out for. Is if Malga and Mercado get opportunities, they're not able to get the big runs in, with loaded bases or something.
Did you learn anything about them watching the UCLA series?
Yeah, I've just up there watching it right now. I've watched all 3 games, and they scored a lot of runs off UCLA's pitching, more runs than we did. So, I think that again, we got to make sure we pitch well. We've got to use our off-speed pitches and hit our locations just like we would any other team. But they certainly are dangerous.
Do they remind you of you guys at all with power all the way up and down the lineup?
Maybe not quite as deep with the power, but certainly a little bit maybe of last year's team with a little more speed mixed in there than what we've got this year. So I think they've got a little more speed. But certainly with Malga in there, she's the one to watch out for.
Coach, how do you feel about your team right now? A couple weeks left in Pac-12 play. It's ending pretty quickly here.
Yeah, it's going quickly. I think last weekend we didn't play our best ball, I think, overall, but we hit the ball, and we certainly had people that hadn't been hitting the ball, hit the ball, such as Linville. Came through with some big hits for us. Of course, Costa, Udrea were pretty solid the whole weekend. Jenna Lilly was coming back strong, from her, from having that time off, and she was hitting the ball extremely well. So I'm hoping that continues, and that we get some players like Savekis and Decker to really pick up the slack.
Do you feel like you guys are close to peaking or being at the best you can be right now?
Well, it's hard to get everybody peaking at the same time, and that's what actually the strength of our team has been, is that we've had the ability to have different people step up, throughout the year. And just like last weekend, we had a couple of people maybe didn't hit quite as well as normal, but they came through, last weekend.
Costa's power has been down a little bit. She's starting to get it going, a home run against OSU and then 2 in that last game against ASU. You see it kind of increasing a little bit? Have you seen any changes she's made?
No, it's just, it's an ebb and flow. Some people kind of figured out, what she was doing, or maybe she started talking to herself. That often happens sometimes. You talk yourself out of some things. But I think that, right now we'll see what happens coming down the stretch. This is a big 3 weeks ahead of us. As far as a lot of things to accomplish, as far as getting to the postseason, getting top 16, top 8, and hopefully winning a championship. Those are the goals over the next 3 weeks.
When you put the top 3 together with Gillespie, Udrea, and Costa, did you foresee this kind of, production out of the top of that order?
No, not really. I mean, Costa was the unknown. She'd never hit that high in the lineup for us, usually down 6-7. And typically Lily's there, But Jenna didn't quite have as strong a start as she normally does this year, so we kind of moved her down, and now she's starting to get hot. So really, I've got some options that I can put there. I could move Lily, up a little bit, and I could move Costa down. And so I'm going to get that gut feeling and see how it's going. Right now, Jerry-Ann Glasgow got some huge hits for us last weekend, and not to mention pitched really well.
Mike, as you get into the stretch run, this team you're playing this week is one of the few that could catch you. Does it change at all a little bit when you're playing those contenders that are left?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've got Arizona, and then of course Utah the last week, and we know Cal in the middle there is dangerous as well. So there's a lot of good softball to be played, but I think that's an opportunity for us because it kind of gets us ready for the postseason. We're going to be facing some good pitching, some good offenses. We need to be at our best, and hopefully we will start to peak as we come out of this stretch run here. So I'm excited to see how we handle it and how we do.
With this particular team, how do you handle, what do you anticipate or look forward to try and keep them from sort of hitting a lull from that mental state of we're close but postseason's still to go?
Yeah.
to keep them from that grind, that lull in the midseason?
Well, I think it is just what's ahead of us. We still have a lot to accomplish. We can't just sit back and say, "Hey, we've made it," because the team that wins the championship gets that free berth and to the postseason. I think we're pretty good chance of making it, obviously, with our record and everything and RPI. But we want to get that highest seed as we can, and that's really something to play for. Do you want to travel to the other side of the country and maybe play an SEC team on their turf, or you want to stay at home and have that opportunity to play at home? And I don't know what the answer is to that, and I'm sure the players will tell you the same thing. We want to try and stay at home if we can.
Talking about Janelle Duvall, a little bit of her career and then how she's doing this year.
Oh yeah, well, she's just been a tremendous all-round player for us. Not only what she does with the bat, because she's been pretty consistent. You look at her and you think she's been struggling a little bit this year, and she's still batting .333, which is really good for a kid to have a whole lot of speed. She's not beating out any infield hits. And then just her power numbers. She's come up with some big home runs in big games, and then just the way she manages the pitching staff is tremendous. She's almost like another coach out there, and just has a good grasp for the game.
Does she call a lot of the game, or you call it all? You call it all?
Oh, we kind of switched off halfway through this year.
Yeah.
I've taken some pressure off the catchers and tried to kind of work a little bit differently. Now we do communicate together, and I want them to tell me where hitters are standing in the box and things like that. But we try to work as a team.
Nice
She
to be-
and Sheridan are poised to break some significant program records. Do you think you'll think of the two of them in tandem together for 5-10 years down the road?
Well, I think definitely that's one tandem for sure. You look at it, and you would think those two together, but also Jess Moore you got to throw in there, because Jess was such a good overstudy or mentor for Sheridan, and I think that she really helped pave the way for Sheridan.
What has that working relationship meant to the two of them, to Janelle and to Sheridan?
Oh, I think it's a lot. They trust each other pretty good. One thing about Janelle, she's not afraid to get in her grill a little bit, and sometimes you need that. That's how you get the respect. If you're always babying somebody, you don't get that respect when you need it. And I think Janelle's been an extension of myself in that respect.